What's good, everybody? Another week of Road to the Title Season 3 is in the books, and this is flying, man. I'm pretty sure that next week's the finale, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. But anyway, I'm going to go over the Bryce Jones versus James Stonier fight today. This was a dope fight, man. This was a really dope fight. This is another one of them back and forth battles, man. This second round has been so much better than the first. It's crazy. It just almost looks like a different sport. There's still some fouls, and some of the matches still have some sloppy striking, but not nearly like the first round. So it's just great to see that the fights are getting better naturally as you progress throughout the competition. But yeah, this was a dope fight, man. This was so close. It was a really, really close fight. Both guys had knockdowns. Both guys had some strikes that could have been fouls, I think. But I really liked the reffing in this fight. I thought it was super consistent. And that's been a trend lately. I mean, say what you want about letting fouls go, but at least in the last couple, they've really been consistent, which is all you can ask for, man. We just have to accept that the sport and the rules are changing. It is what it is. I mean, I'll still definitely watch it. You just need consistent rules. But anyway, yeah, I was happy with the reffing in this fight. So in the first round, Bryce fought Devin Helm, and he won with a vicious first slap KO. Vicious first slap KO. It was one of the better KOs of the season. So, yeah, we didn't really see much of him, but we did see some great striking, and he definitely has knockout power. So, you're gonna need it going up against Stonier, and you're also gonna need a chin, man. So. Didn't get to see his chin in the first round. That's always the $1 million question, man. The $1 million question. You could be the most powerful, best slapper on earth, but if you cannot take a slap, you're just not going to cut it, man. So that's always the $1 million question, and man, he delivered. This dude has a chin, and we know Stonier has a chin. I mean, you could if you watched his last fight. So Stonier in the first round, he faced Cody Harasnik, and basically, he just got the shit clubbed out of him twice and then moved on. And the one slap he did throw, I believe he threw one slap. Yeah, one slap. And the one slap he did throw didn't look too good. So although I was super high on him coming into the competition, even his first slap didn't look that great. So was really hoping for a bounce back performance from James, and I definitely think we got it. I thought both guys did well, and again, it was just so close, man. But with that said, let's get into it. So Bryce won the toss, and he was slapping first, and it was a good slap, man. It was a good slap. It was a powerful slap. It was a little high for me. So again, there were some strikes that were questionable in this fight, as far as no calls go. But I think you'll see the trend as we progress that they really were being pretty consistent with it. So yeah, it was high, but if you're not going to call it, it had a crazy sound. It really was, even though it was high, it really was technically a slap to the face. I mean, you can not always, but you can generally tell from the sound test, man. If it sounds like a slap, most of the time it is a slap. Not always, but so yeah, it was a good shot. But dude, James was able to eat it, and in the second round, you'll see a lot more of I always talk about how you take the slap and playing it off. Great jobs by James here to play it off, man. It was actually mad funny. When he took the slap, he was just like, nada, bro. I was dying laughing, man. It was so funny. Yo, Stonier, he's like a man of few words, but when he does talk, you listen. So yeah, it was mad funny. Great job by James to play it off, and a good slap by Bryce. And then on James's first lap, bruh, this was a hammer. He put 3 P's on that slap, my dudes. It knocked Bryce down. It was perfect depth, and on first glance it seemed a little low, but dude, this guy has massive hands, dude. So to avoid I always say anyway, it's better to miss low than high if you can, because you can, depending on the depth of your hand, hitting low isn't always necessarily a club. It really comes down to like if you lead with the hard part of your hand and how far like into your face that the hard part of your hand leads. So as far as the depth goes, it was perfect. And he really, honestly, this is like how he has to slap to land clean because his hands are so big. And bro, we always talk about the button, man. Dude, he caught him. It wasn't necessarily on the button, but he caught him like on the jaw with it, which is like next best thing. So yeah, absolutely rocked him and knocked Bryce down. Dude, Bryce showed a great chin, man. I feel like he got up a little. I think he could have taken a second or two longer when he was recovering, but he stood back up. He was still a little wobbly, so I definitely think that a couple seconds would have done him good. But regardless, he was able to get up, and it was an impressive recovery. And then on Bryce's second slap, dude, this one rocked James. It rocked James. When I first saw it, I was like, it looked a lot like the strike that James took, the club that he took from Cody in the first round. So like on first glance in real time, I was like, damn, that was a club. And then I've looked at it multiple times and like slowed it down in the program or that I use or whatever. And yeah, man, this was right on the button. Like if you pause it right before it hits his face, his hand couldn't be any more flat. And the heel of his hand just barely makes contact with his chin, which is exactly what you want. You can't lead with it, but like naturally to hit clean, that bottom part of your hand is going to hit a little bit. It's going to hit a little bit on the face, which is allowed. You just can't lead with it. And so this one you want to talk about on the money, man. It rocked James, knocked him down. Absolutely textbook recovery by James, man. He showed that he's a true veteran. This is how you recover in power slap. And shout out to Terp. He was reminding him, although James knew. But Terp like told him to stay down, and James was staying down anyway. But Terp actually told him when to get up too, which was good because it looked like he was taking a little too long to get up. And then also great coaching by Terp because you could tell that even when James was like back in the corner, the ref was still looking at him. And then Terp was like, oh, yeah, that woke you up now. And then, like, basically, it literally did look like he woke up once he talked to Terp because he was like, yeah, I woke up. Let's go. And it's like he was so clearly, like, still recovering that I thought it was pretty funny. But he was definitely okay, but he was, like, not all the way there yet. But once he did that, the ref was like, okay, you're good, and let him go. So, yeah, just perfect by both guys. They're both veterans, so I would expect nothing less from them. And then on James's second slap, this one was high. Man. It looked like a club to me. Again, he has massive hands, so you really have to take that into consideration when you're calling clubs on him. But even with that still seemed a little high to me. It seemed like the heel of his hand hit like right on the orbital. So to me, this one was a club. But they didn't call it, and it really wouldn't have mattered anyway because James was so rocked on the first one that he got knocked down. Like it was a knockdown for Bryce, and so it really didn't matter that much, but it was really telling as far as like the reffing goes and just again that they're going to let him go. But it comes into play on Bryce's next slap. So yeah, it looked high to me. Again, this guy has big hands, so his slaps to land clean are going to have to be on the lower side like his first one was. So yeah, no call. I'm not like, oh my god, how could you not call that? Like, I mean, I see it both ways. I'm fine with a no call as long as you're consistent. But if they called it, I wouldn't have complained either. So, but the guy's tough as fuck. He was able to recover from it. And then on Bryce's third slap, so this one was high too. It looked very much like Stonier's slap, which is why I was saying that like I'm cool with the reffing because, you know, if he's gonna let that one go, he should let this one go. They're basically identical. Maybe not as bad. I don't think that Bryce's was as bad as James's as far as like how deep it landed on the face, but still high. So again, consistency. And so yeah, I was happy with that. It still had crazy power. This guy definitely has power because like it definitely rocked Stonier. So it was like, I mean, he found the perfect sweet spot on the second slap. And I feel like if he could have done that same slap again, he could have put Stonier out. But he missed high, which is a little rare too, because in my opinion, most heavyweights tend to miss low. So it was a little interesting that he was missing a little bit high. It might have had something to do with the fact of how tall James is. I'm pretty sure James is like 6'6", dude. The guy's massive. So maybe he was swinging up a little bit for that reason. That talking that through, that probably makes a lot of sense to me. But I'm not him, so I don't know that for sure. And dude, this was absolutely hilarious, man. Stonier was so out of it for a second, like on his feet, and then he just like snaps back in and was like, nothing. And it was like, bro, it is clearly so not nothing that it was honestly amazing TV. Like, I was laughing. Even Dana laughed. Like, it was absolute gold, man. It was like, he just gets slapped. He's clearly not there. He's like, nothing. It was like, bro, that was obviously something, man. But I love Stonier. Huge fan of him. He's fucking hilarious. And he was able to eat it, man. This fight was so close. Both guys showed crazy chins. But yeah, anyway, that was incredible how he was able to eat it. And dude, he's going down swinging. He was trying to play it off, man. He was doing the right thing. This guy's a pure veteran. He's the definition of a veteran. And yeah, would expect nothing less from him, but it was still good to see. And then on James's third slap, dude, it was money, man. It was money. Bryce just has a crazy chin, man. Like, as far as slaps go, as far as who, like, I think that Bryce's slap did more damage, but as far as like how clean it was, James definitely had the better slap. But yeah, the damage I would give to Bryce on that, on the third one. And then also, I think that he just played it off a little better. Stonier tried to play it off better, but I think I said this in the Rod fight. It was like, sometimes if you're rocked in like a quiet room like this, like, it's better to say nothing and maybe just hand motion. I think that James opening his mouth there probably is really what, like, it was so telling that he was rocked when he like started to speak. And I think that, yeah, I think Bryce just edged him out a little bit on the damage and definitely played it off a tiny bit better, as far as like how rocked he was and how he acted after he took the slap. So yeah, that's how I saw it. First round for Stonier, second round for Bryce, and then third round for Bryce, barely. Amazing fight. Really enjoyed this one. So Bryce, that's 2-0, and a win over, dude, this is a good name to put on your resume, man. Like, this was a big win for him. Knocking out Devin Helm is one thing, but going through a 3-round war with James Stonier, a seasoned veteran, this was a guy that fought Dorian Perez at one point, and you just proved that you can hang with him. I think Bryce is the real deal, man. The only thing that we didn't know was his chin, and we know now, so he's going to be tough. Great to see the heavyweight division get some new blood, shake things up. A lot of great matchups for him, I think. And then for James, dude, he's not going anywhere, man. He's not going anywhere. I love watching this guy fight. I definitely think that he's still going to be around. Definitely some good matchups for him, some fun matchups for him. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing both guys. And then I think the next episode is when they're going to announce the matchups for Power Slap 9. I find it hard to believe that Bryce isn't on there, but who knows? Who knows? There's not, like, they've already announced a couple fights for the main card, so you'd have to assume that, like, these show fights are going to end up being the prelims. I'm hoping they air them this time so you can actually watch them. It's freaking ridiculous how they do that. Can't stand it. But, yeah, that's beside the point. Anyway, this was a dope fight. Great job to both guys. Great job to the refs. Great job to the coaches. This was just a good one, man. It was just a good one all around. This episode was good. Was a good episode. And, yeah, that's what I got. So thanks for the support, everyone. And, yeah, until next time.